Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. Continuing today with drawing every country in the world's flag. You know that yesterday we did celebrate our halfway point, so all downhill from here, fellas and ladies. Alright, so today, going to stick around in Africa. We're going to be off the continent though, and we're going to be doing the small island country of Mauritius. So Mauritius is to the east of Madagascar, and we're gonna be pretty quick and dirty here today, because today, of course, is a very important day if you're in the United States. So if you're watching this from the future, if we still have a future, if you're watching this in the future, I am recording this on November 5th of 2024. And of course, as you know, November 5th is a very important day in American history. It is the day, November 25th, that George Foreman actually became the oldest heavyweight champion in boxing in November 5th of 1994. All right, so he became the heavyweight champion at 45 years of age, knocked out Michael Moorer in, I believe it was like the 9th round. So yeah, very important day in American history, November 5th. So we're celebrating the anniversary of that today here on James Draws Everything. So fire up your Foreman grills tonight, honor the champ, and let's just get down to it. So Mauritius, uninhabited for most of its existence. It was known to Arab and European sailors since at least like the early 1500s. But nobody really settles it until the 1630s when the Dutch show up. And they named it in honor of Prince Maurice van Nassau. And I probably said that wrong, but that's where the name comes from. It does come from the Dutch. And the Dutch actually kind of didn't have a very successful run in the colony. The Indian Ocean kind of a little bit out of their normal sphere of influence. It's believed that the dodo bird was actually hunted to extinction, like when the Dutch showed up. So if you're a dodo bird fan, you can blame the Dutch for that. And yeah, no real like indigenous people or anything like that. The Dutch didn't have a very successful time there, so they pretty much abandoned the settlement in the early 1700s. And then the French show up about a decade later, and the French turned it around, made it a very highly successful sugarcane plantation territory. And they brought the enslaved people from other parts of Africa. And there was some autonomous rule later in that century when some of the slaves rejected French control, and slavery laws or anti-slavery laws were starting to become a thing around that time, especially due to the French Revolution. And kind of as almost like an early World War, right? Like those early Napoleonic wars with France and Britain. The British end up taking control, kind of due to their rivalry with the French. And, you know, I kind of talk about this in the New World, how important the rivalry between the French and the British was in shaping American politics, right? Not just, and I don't just mean like American as in the United States, but American as in all of North America and all of South America, kind of in general. And they do keep a lot of French influence, though, like as far as like their legal codes, the Creole language, and slavery completely abolished in 1835. So that's where you kind of see the British, you know, of course, the British in that part of the world, they're going to be getting their labor from India, right? So you get a lot of Indians that show up in Mauritius to work. And that pretty much kind of builds up the economy there. And so their people are sort of like a mix between Africans Indians and some French and British influence. And it does have a real simple flag. So yeah, it became an important naval base like during World War II for the British, in that particular theater. And kind of going further on into the 20th century, Mauritius gains independence from the UK in 1968, so a little bit later than some of its African brethren, and has actually remained a relatively stable republic ever since. So possibly because it's not actually on like the continent officially, right? It is just an island country in the Indian Ocean, so maybe doesn't have all of those kind of local ethnic conflicts that a lot of the other African countries had and kind of struggled through post-independence, and attracts a lot of foreign investment. Has one of Africa's highest per capita incomes right now. Still has some issues politically, right? But what country doesn't? It's mostly family politics. So your two opposition parties in Mauritius are basically like the two prominent families of the state. You've had various father-son groupings that have become prime minister over multiple generations. And that's been pretty much the case since independence. A lot of mainly like Hindu people have risen in Mauritius's politics. So again, there is that strong Indian influence there. And let's see, we'll just close that off right here, and yeah, we're pretty much done. This is actually a real simple one. So yeah, Mauritius, not very well known, I don't think, just because that kind of Indian Ocean region in general, right? Most of it, like, it's not like the Pacific where there's like a lot of countries there. I'm talking about not just like, Southeast Asia, right? Because Indonesia is huge, but I'm talking about like the region between Indonesia and Africa. Not really a lot there. A lot of those islands are, uninhabited. And big reason for that is, just how violent that ocean is. So very, very nasty weather patterns in that particular ocean. So that was kind of a big reason why new trade routes were sought after, with the age of exploration into the which kind of led to like Columbus finding the Americas, trying to find alternate trade routes to avoid the Indian Ocean and its nasty weather. All right, so that is Mauritius, not Mauritania, Mauritius, right? Very similar names. And what does the flag mean? So the red is self-determination and independence. Blue, the Indian Ocean that surrounds the island. Yellow is the new light of independence, or golden sunshine, or the bright future. And the green, can you guess what that means? Lush vegetation of the island. Now, a lot of flags have the tricolor symbol, right? And this, if you look at the CAR flag, very similar, right? But the CAR has that thing cutting through it and the star. This is the only flag in the world that has 4 equal bands as opposed to 3. And when I look at the Mauritius flag, kind of reminds me of something. So let's do a little quick bonus content here on November 4th, George Foreman Day, right? Important day in America. So let's see. It reminds me of can guess what I'm drawing here. This is going to be like an old school television set, right? Bear with me. I'm gonna tie this all together. Give me just a minute. So our old ugly gray TVs that we all had growing up, or at least I did if you were my age. Right? You think now a television that's the size of you, right? You can basically lift with one hand. And we've come a long way. So these old televisions, right? It's barely like a 16-inch screen, and the thing would weigh 300 pounds, right? So moving from place to place, these things were a pain to carry around. And the reason why I'm thinking about television, and actually let me just finish off the top thing there. So we got like a Simpsons looking TV here. The reason why I was thinking about television when I saw the Mauritius flag is because I always remember falling asleep right on the couch watching TV, and then waking up not really knowing what time it is. You know, it's 3:30 in the morning. So whatever you were watching on TV, you know, the network TV channels weren't always 24/7 back then, right? So whatever late night program they had on, you know, after a certain time, they shut off, right? So when the TV shut off, you just saw those wavy color bars, right? Then if you're really old, if you're a lot older than me, they used to sing like the national anthem right before TV went to bed for the night. So yeah, TV used to actually go to sleep. So those scrambled colors remind me of old school TV at 3 o'clock in the morning. And let me know what you think. So that is Mauritius, and that's Mauritius TV, the Mauritius Television Network at 3 a.m. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video.